See what happened when we tried to do the video.
All right.
It started us. We stopped doing video because we didn't feel like messing with it anymore because it's just another hassle. And most people will tune in when we get the stuff up on iTunes, Stitcher, and now Google Play Music, amongst others.
Yo, he's back. Who is that in chat? Not 13245 12345. Who is that?
I'm gonna guess that's Shinji from one of my gaming groups. I was telling my gaming clan on Fantastica. Oh, it's Crowd. That was gonna be my next guess.
Okay,
What's up,
well,
man?
because there was a guy that was playing League of Legends, and I've been watching his stream, and I was just being friendly, just watching newer streamers, and I was like, dude, I started out like it made him laugh, like saying, League is like it's like Salt Lake City, right? There's salt everywhere, even in the lake. Just made him laugh. It was funny. And so I told him about this, and this guy was earlier. I was like, I wonder who this is, and I thought it was that guy. So now I know it's not. You could have just told me.
Yeah, and I saw that he had joined the channel, but it was when my internet went down. I was like, oh, great. But it kind of worked out because I was playing something on my phone anyway. There's clan wars right now on this mobile game that I've been talking to you about. It's pretty serious, but the sad part is it's a really good game and it's a lot of skill involved. But ultimately, if you want to spend lots of money, you could win automatically. Kind of stupid, but excuse me. So yeah, that's my contribution tonight. Burping right in the microphone. I was ready for that one.
Yeah, it was pretty hot, actually. I mean,
pretty moist.
I didn't. All right, I'm not going there. But
Well, I mean, we could say the word moist right now. If there's women in the channel, then it'd be a different story. Because women generally do not like the word moist. Makes them very
I don't know why.
very scared. Look, I said moist, and Janelle just left the channel. She thought I didn't see her there lurking.
Really?
Yeah. Damn.
You are a fucking asshole.
I don't think that word bothers her. She's pretty open-minded.
No, I think that word does bother her. That's one of the major words that bother her.
Okay, it's okay. It didn't happen. This is Inception. It's all a dream. When the weather's hot, every pit sweats. Do you ever get like the back of your knees sweating? It's really weird. Like armpits, I understand, but like the back of your knees, like whoa, there's a whole new level of humidity and heat.
Wow, dude.
That's how you know you're down south. Anywho, just thought I'd share that with you. So why don't we let the fine folks know what we have tonight on the show?
Well, tonight on the show is a very fun and no, I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna be talking about E3 2016, what we loved, liked, hated. I liked a lot of it. I didn't really love any of it. There was one thing that I loved, but we'll just share that later. Maybe we'll talk a little TV and film before jumping into the good stuff E3, but more than likely it's gonna be E3. We'll see what happens. Who won the show? Owen, with your thoughts.
Oh, there's other June babies, Obi.
Yeah?
You're in good company. So my mom, you, and Kitsune from Cat and Fox show. Yeah. There's a bunch of other June babies, but I think was Michelle Madison's birthday? No, she's an April baby too. Anyway, wanted to share that.
Yeah.
If you like anime, Japanese culture, video games, check out their show Cat and Fox. Also on allgames.com.
Okay. Yeah,
Dad.
it's your turn. Yeah.
Crowd said he paid $2,000 for his sweaty head.
What?
Hashtag pay to win.
I'll use some. Never mind.
Not that hat, Obi. You naughty boy.
No, like I was gonna say, I'll sweat and send you some sweat from my head for 2 grand. Shit. I mean,
Jeez.
there are some famous people that have June, like June birthdays. Um, you have, let's see here, Donald Trump is one.
Oh, no, you don't mention that.
Johnny Depp is another. Tyra Burr is another. Natalie Portman.
Oh, Natalie Portman's a good one.
Michael J. Fox. His birthday's in June 6th.
Wow, really good company. Johnny Depp, Natalie Portman. Wow.
OMG, it's Birdman. It's a YouTube star. If you guys haven't heard it, you go watch his videos. They're funny.
But speaking of Johnny Depp, did you hear the whole BS? Like his ex-wife is saying that he beat her.
Yeah.
But like his other exes are coming out saying that he's the most gentle man they've ever known, and he would never do something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. You meet the right person, they'll push you to do some things. There's some people that just know how to push those buttons.
So I'm
not saying it's right, but I understand.
I do share the day with he's a religious leader. I don't know if you guys know him. I know who he is because my dad. But T.D. Jakes is he's June 21st. Let's see who else has got some June birthdays. Sarah Bell, it's a YouTube star, movie star, Loretto Peralta, Remy Baker. If you guys know him, he's a YouTube star and he plays League of Legends and he's overseas. I forgot his name. Well, no, I'm looking at him right. No, I'm looking at him right here. Like I know who he is, but I can't remember his YouTube. Never mind, because his real name stands right here. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it, just because. Yeah. Anyway, I'm done.
All right.
What's horseplay all about, Yogi?
Man, that's a good transition, Obi.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you asked, Obi. Oh yeah, horseplay. We're a late night show. We're primarily video game show. Since we are on geekyands.net and allgames.com, where a majority of our content is video game related. But really, we're just about shenanigans or geeky antics, if you will. You see, there's a pattern here. And anyway, since we're a late night show, we're live and uncut. There's a good chance we may say something offensive, and we don't mean to, but we're just having fun. It's horseplay, shenanigans. It goes hand in hand. So keep open mind and have fun with us. That's all I gotta say.
Athene.
Just have fun with us.
That's his name.
Mm.
Like Athene's Holy Grail in League of Legends?
Yes.
Yes.
Or that was a game. It was Lunar Dragon Song. It was a sequel to Lunar. Great series. And instead of calling the goddess Athena, they called it Althena. Anyway, that just made me think about that somehow. That's my random tangent.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we do say anything that upset you or anything like that, well, just get over it. Because I don't really apologize that much, and I don't know. Sometimes Yogi doesn't either.
Obi, crowd must know if a July birthday counts.
No. June. That's what we're talking about right now, dude. Like June, not July, not next month. June.
July is great though, because
July.
Shaved ice.
Jesus Christ.
No, shaved ice. You don't like shaved ice with like the red, white, and blue, or a good Italian icy, where you gotta really scrape it to get it up. Like so good.
Oh, wow. I just realized that I did it wrong. I have a lot more people on here that have June 21st birthdays. I'm still talking about it.
We get it, Obi.
No,
it's club.
It's his fault. He brought back up does July count? So I was gonna leave it alone, and then he brought it back up.
April 19th birthday. Let's see. All right. That guy's a serial killer, so no. That guy's a serial killer too. Jeffrey Dahmer. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. to
I
you.
don't like these.
Tupac's birthday is on June 16th. Come on, dude.
Nah, I'm gonna look up for real. Oh no. For realsies. James Franco, I can deal with that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
Nadia
chicks
Turner, I don't know what that is.
in
There are a
jail.
lot of chicks. Kate Hudson, I like her, but she's way too skinny for her own good. And it's that vegan diet, man. You gotta have some meat in your life. Just
Our
saying.
next president of the United States, Donald Trump. I can't even do it. It's gonna come. It's gonna be on here. It's gonna be Donald Trump. He's turning 70, and he's gonna be entrepreneur / president. We're not talking about politics here.
Oh no. I'm looking up. I'm still looking it up. A lot of these people I don't even know, like soccer players, but unless you're outside of the U.S., no one really cares. Like in the United States, we don't really care about soccer. It's like there's only one football. Sorry.
Yeah, there's American football and European football.
I do know this one guy, Troy Polamalu. I know him. He's a household name.
Okay. Anyway, we're looking through birthdays.
Actually,
Which really don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah,
Guys,
okay,
don't
okay.
forget HorsePLAY Live is every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. GMT on Twitch channels Geeky Antics and simulcasted over on YogiZilla. HorsePLAY Live replay is also available earlier, about 5 p.m. Eastern Time on allgames.com. Guys, go check that out. Give us 5 minutes of your time. It really does help us out. We love you very much for those that do.
Oh shit, yo! Not for nothing, Crowd's got freaking a good famous birthday. I know we were trying to move on, but July 6th, Kevin Hart, 50 Cent, Sylvester Stallone, Lauren Elizabeth, George W. Bush, dude. The twins, the two black twins that used to be on that TV show, Tia and Tamara, remember them? Eva Green from Penny Dreadful, great show, and the dude that sings freaking Chocolate Rain, Tay Zonday. Dude, this is like a freaking all-star roster. The Dalai Lama. This can't be right. This has to be like someone trolling. This is crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, this is a long list, though. I'll put it in the chat if you're curious. Obi?
Yeah.
I thought I couldn't say. I had to look it up because Crowd requested in the chat. He wants to say his full name, but like his Twitch chat handle is like one of those names that makes my head explode. Not 1324512345. Like. Jesus.
Yeah. I wanted to stab myself when he was here earlier.
But I just call him Nat. What up, Nat? Shade is greatness. Hey, when's our next match? By the way, I haven't had a chance to look. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. By the way, Obi, you ready to get to our next spiel?
Yeah, I'm just. You told me to stop talking about birthdays, so I did, and you're back talking about them. So.
The people ask. So we got a little over an hour and a half. You want to talk some quick TV and movies, and then we'll jump into the E3 talk?
Sure.
All right. So this is going to be the quickest WWBP, WWBW, because I haven't been playing much. I haven't been watching much. Obi and I did play Halo Wars 2, the open beta. We'll talk more about that when we get to the E3's talk, right?
Yep, kind of sucks.
Oh, stop it. We were having fun with it, dude.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I said, yeah, I'm good, yeah. Yep.
But anyway, The Last Ship is back. One of the summer shows. That show is great. I think it's right up your alley, bro. I think you'll dig it. The Whispers, though, I'm surprised it was canceled. I thought the show was definitely gonna come back. I didn't look that deep, but I need to find out exactly what happened because I remember the show being a critical darling. And I thought it had good ratings and lots of fanfare and people clamoring for it, but nope, canceled. And I think it's an ABC show, so if it was Fox, I'd understand because Fox cancels anything good and then keeps the crap.
I like EA.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Ba-dum-ts.
But I did watch the Warcraft movie. I have to watch it again.
Mhm.
All I'm gonna say right now is
I
one of the
love
characters.
the Warcraft movie. Yeah, Ugh, don't
Well,
get me
you were gonna say
started
you
on it.
loved it.
I did like it.
Okay.
I liked it a lot, but there were a lot of things that were just so inaccurate. It just blew my mind.
I liked it as a fantasy movie, but not as a Warcraft movie. But I did like that they were focusing on the stuff that took place in the Warcraft universe before WoW. Like it's all like it
Oh
seemed like
yeah,
they were.
that was stated beforehand that the movie was it was pre Alliance versus Horde, like pre basis to where Anduin became king and or then before everything happened when you start World of Warcraft. Yeah, I mean
Maybe you had to play Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, or maybe the original Reign of Chaos to really
it's before that.
refresh. It's
Reign of
before that too.
Reign of Chaos. Reign of Chaos is what happened afterwards.
Oh, you could. Was it all? It's all blurry in my head, but isn't that the whole Illidan gets imprisoned and escapes?
Yes, that would be the next movie, babe. Which
That would be
they
dope.
are. I'm telling you right now, they're setting this up to be and I'm sorry to say
A
this, yeah,
trilogy.
they're setting this up to be more than a trilogy
I can see it. I mean, there's a lot of
because
production value.
you know how much, even though it's gonna cost them 300 million to make it, right?
They said the
Roughly.
budget on this was 500 million or something crazy like that.
But yeah,
Isn't that what they said?
that's one move. They spent 397 million to make this.
That's
Yes, I
crazy.
saw that too. Two mages, no hunters. That sucked. I really wanted to see a hunter in here. I wasn't expecting to see like a druid or anything like that. We saw warriors. We saw, things like that. Um,
They had
palette.
shamans for sure.
The only thing that I didn't see is I'm pretty sure I saw some paladins off like doing something else because it was guys with shields and a sword and they were freaking doing light spells and shit. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it was in one of the fight scenes, but there's a lot of things that yeah, you guys just gotta watch it. It's gonna be one of those things where I think after this E3 we're gonna do a spoiler show if I'm not mistaken. If we are, we won't spoil World of Warcraft, or yeah, the movie yet. Yet.
Do you want to do a double spoiler with Captain America: Civil War and Warcraft? I'm gonna
Well,
mix up the shows. We'll have to think about it.
we'll see what happens, but we are going to be doing a TV a season spoiler next week, aren't we? One of these weeks.
Which show are we gonna do?
All the
But there's a
season,
couple.
all the season ending spoilers.
Yeah, we can revisit it. I mean, Flash is still pretty fresh in my mind. I think we said everything we needed to about Arrow, though. Like, nothing much really happened in that season finale. Like, it was kind of. I mean, it was
Dude.
alright.
The only thing that happened with Arrow was it basically set it up to go right into next season. Um,
Yeah, but like,
from some
what
of the
that
interviews
that shit left you with your dick in your hand, dude. Like, it was just such a tease.
I don't know how you get off, but I don't really go that way. But
I'm just saying, though, like,
it's
everybody parting ways, like, I don't know.
they'll be back. Reason I say that is there's going to be other things that happen. Like with some of the interviews and stuff like that, Stephen Amell has slipped and let some stuff go on accident, kind of thing, to where they're going to be expanding more from that because it started with Arrow, and then it went off then to the Flash, and then you had was it Superwoman? Not Superwoman, but
Supergirl.
yeah, Supergirl, and then there was another one,
Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends of DC Legends of Tomorrow, with the group of them. That's where, we won't go into that yet, but so I mean, and they were kind of talking about that they're going to actually start doing more expanding. You know what I mean? Get maybe another show out there where, because Stevens, he's got some stuff going on in the future where he's only got like one or maybe two seasons left. Because he just did the Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was,
Well, that movie bombed. I don't know if you heard.
yes, I
Uh,
heard it bombed
uh,
badly.
apparently, Paramount is like scurrying to try to figure out what to do next. And there's a lot of really good subject matter there. I just feel like you need to get someone that's a real turtle fan to make that movie right. Or if not, just stick to the cartoons, because the cartoons, they're always satisfying. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I will watch the Turtles anytime. It's just something
So,
about it. It's just a
in
fun
your
universe.
eyes, did you see it?
I didn't see it yet, but I've heard really bad things from even people that are diehard Turtles fans.
Okay. It's one of those things where they could have, like, the Turtles were awesome. How they actually, because you can only do so much with like suits and stuff that these guys are wearing, and paint masks and stuff. But for what they've done and how they've built up the turtles, the turtles were meant to be taller than humans, right? They were meant to be that way, but the cartoon portrayed them as the same size or smaller. Because you never really seen the turtles and the humans standing right next to each other. They were always fighting or running or doing something.
That's true.
So, I mean, what they've done with the turtles, awesome. I love it. But the rest of the story kind of just fell apart. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want to spoil it, because some parts are really, really cool. But the story the whole movie just kind of was just like a blah, blah, blah. Let's just keep running it. Like, it'll be on that website, or that app here in a couple days, probably.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be that guy that's like gonna harp on details. But April O'Neil, I'm sorry, she needs to be a redhead. Who do they have in there? Is what's her face?
See, April O'Neil wasn't a redhead, though, in the comic books.
But in the cartoon, she wasn't. That's what most people
She
draw
was a
from.
blonde.
She was the redhead in the cartoons with the yellow jumpsuit. They don't have to keep the yellow jumpsuit.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
But I mean, I don't. At a comic, I can't remember that well. But yeah, April needs to not be Megan Fox. Like, it's just like Megan Fox. She's pretty easy on the eyes. She's cool, but I just don't see her in that part. In Transformers, she works okay. She's passable there. But what is she doing in Turtles? Like, I don't know. Is she following? Isn't this a Michael Bay joint too? Is she following Michael Bay around? Like, is he? She must be sucking him off or something. I don't know.
That's his
'Cause
bae. That's his bae, bae.
I guess so. I don't know. It's just taking such a beautiful thing and ruining it. It makes my heart hurt, man. It
Yeah,
makes my heart hurt.
it does. It hurts, man.
It hurts you deep.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. I was looking up some numbers and kind of seeing what people, thought about the movie, and there are a lot of bad reviews. Like, a lot
I'm
of
just
bad
curious, like, how
reviews.
bad can it be? Like, I don't know. It'd be like slamming Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, they're fun movies. Can't really mess them up. You got, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow, and he's kind of a bumbling idiot, but you love him anyway. And he's a pirate, and they go on adventures, and funny things happen.
Yeah, no, BFT, I understand that it is. I agree with you. It's a good movie if you can understand which trying to direction they're going to. With what they did with the story is what I was saying is it just kind of fell apart. It's just one of those things where, and I'm gonna say it just because this is one of those things where you need to just smoke a bowl and have a good movie. Like, don't think about it because it's not that kind of
if
movie at
you're if
all.
you're of age,
Of course.
Or drink if you're of age.
If you're listening to this show, then you're in the wrong spot. Like, you need to not listen to us.
If it's a really fun movie, that's really all I need to know and turn your brain off and enjoy. That's kind of what I do with every movie nowadays. My question is the last one better or is this one better? That's kind of the tricky part. Because that's judging it against itself. I think it's fair.
This one I think is better than the last one because of the graphics, more effects. They got it's not just turtles. It's we got there's two other mutants as well that they're fighting and dealing with, and
Bebop and Rocksteady.
And then you actually get to see Shredder fight, and it's just So I mean, it's something that it's actually I think it was better. But I like you said, you have people and everybody that, oh my god, this shit sucked.
Part of me would love to see one of the Chinese action film producers or directors, better yet, directing it, handling choreography, getting all that stuff coordinated and getting some real fighting sequences in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then building everything else around that. Really selling the fights though. That'd be freaking kick ass. I mean, I don't know if it could work.
They had a really good cast. A really good cast. I really do. I really did. I mean, Megan. Well, I don't even want to say her name, but I mean, Megan O'Neill, Stephen Amell, Will Arnett, Tyler Perry, Sheamus from the WWE, Brian T. Gary Anthony Williams, and then you have, of course, the Turtles, but we can't really see the Turtles, so but like Jeremy Howard was Donatello, which is a perfect because he's a nerd already. Johnny Knoxville was Leonardo. That's a perfect part.
Really?
I mean, yeah, dude. Noel Fisher was Michelangelo. Alan Richardson was Raphael. Let's see. Yeah.
Wait, you said that Johnny Knoxville was
Leonardo.
Interesting.
Yes.
I can see it. I can kind of see it.
Well, I mean, can you see why his part? Because Leonardo was he was more of the leader type, which I kind of think Alan Richardson would have been a better Leonardo. But Alan Richardson has a mean streak to him anyway. So Raphael is the freaking badass of the group, right? Or supposedly the bad-tempered one of the group, the red. Michelangelo, Noel Fisher, I think that was a pretty good because he's a comedian. Now, would I like to see Johnny Knoxville be Michelangelo? Yes. Because then you could justify everything he's doing just because it's Johnny Knoxville. Really. But Donatello... Go ahead.
Well, see, fun fact, everybody's saying in the chat, Michelangelo's my favorite. That's everybody's favorite. Though to play as one of the turtles, I always like Donatello because he had extra range, or Leonardo because of speed. But anyway, fun fact: I actually worked on the crew for Jackass when they around the time when they were taking over MTV. Remember the 24-hour takeover that Jackass did? And man, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Those guys really are crazy. Just gotta put it out there. Like, it got to a point where I can talk about it now, but there was fists being thrown. Shit got serious. They didn't like one of the guys went down, and the one dude finally got tired of it. He's like, I'm freaking tired of this bullshit. You guys keep going to extreme. This is not what I signed up for. And it got really ugly. They had to cut the cameras and everything. Damn. Crazy shit.
And LMS, you got a hidden copy somewhere.
Maybe. That was really cool though, and the coolest thing though, they were giving away video games to people in the audience and on the crew and all this random swag. It was just they were just throwing shit around. They weren't even bothering doing raffles. Here, just throwing shit. Here you go. It was pretty cool.
You're in the right spot. You got a lot of shit.
Yeah. They spread it out pretty well. Good memories though. It was interesting.
But I just want to say on here that the kind of like a numbers percentage wise of the number of people that watched TMNT to that liked it, 34% said no. I
That's
mean,
so
yes,
bad.
it's not bad, but still, that's 34%. That's a lot higher than any other of the other movies that just came out. That's damn. Something's gotta. I
Yeah.
mean, because people are. I mean, think about it. We expect, and when a movie's put out, we expect it like we expect our video games. That's. I mean, we expect it to be good and done. Some of these movies that they're putting out now are just. They're not even done.
I wonder how many of those people would change their tune if they went to the movie for free, only had to spend $5. Cause there's places now in the United States where you're spending like $20 just to go just for the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking crazy. Some friends I have in the UK, they said their tickets are like $30 a pop. I'm like, I will never
Mm-hmm.
go to the movies. Fuck that. There's so many things you can do with $30.
For me, for my wife and I to go, and I don't think this would be a movie that I would let my kid watch in the theater, just because of all the fighting and everything. But he's only 5, so whatever. Deadpool definitely not. I love that movie. I love Deadpool. Deadpool is life, dude. Um, but for like something like this, if we were to go see it, just me, him, and her, it's $12 for me and my wife. That's 24. It's another $8 for my son. That's 30. And then if we normally get the big box of popcorn, because we want popcorn and everything. We get the big tub of popcorn with the 2 drinks, and we bring other stuff for his drinks because he doesn't like all the pop and everything. So we bring juice from home, and it's still almost $50.
Oh yeah, you have to like plan for that. I remember it used to be back in the day. It used to be like, oh, you want to go watch a movie? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I got
Now
20
they can get their
bucks.
plan for. Yeah.
Yeah, I got $20. The tickets are like $4 a piece or $5 a piece. The popcorn's 10, and you get 2 drinks with it.
Well, the $2 theater by me, the main one that we go to
Hmm.
is they've already like the management admitted to several people. I even talked to one of the I think he was the owner. That he told me straight up. Honestly, we could give the tickets away for free and still make a profit because of the concessions. And I'm like, so why don't you? He's like, well, because then we get everybody and all kinds of riffraff in here. The price keeps some of the more seedy element out. I'm like, that makes sense. You touch something like people are so cheap that charge them for something. They'll be like, no. But then if it's free, it's like, hey, let's take 10 of them.
Yeah. Oh, they're free. I mean, it's free. It's free.
Yep. So that usually holds true. But anywho, so we've done this in a few weeks. 2x, 2 questions to get your juices going, get you thinking about stuff, get you pondering, maybe even inspire you. So, and it's gonna set the stage for our discussion for the rest of the show. So number one, what makes a game complete? In other words, what are the requirements for something to be considered a game as opposed to an interactive movie or an experience, for example? And the next thing, number two, what makes a game good? Now, these are still pretty subjective things, so clearly there's no right or wrong. But you guys should let us know what you think. Leave us a text or voicemail with your thoughts. You can leave that at 646-801-2149. And our email, mail@geekyantics.net. Yep. Yep. All right. So there, Obi?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So we got a good hour or so to go deep on E3. So Obi, you open us up. Do your spiel. Do the thing. Do the roar. Do the roar.
All right. It's time for Geeks Engaged.
I want to talk. I want to talk about that. But sure, that too. So yeah, if you do want to call in, our team speak info is in the chat. Exclamation call in or exclamation TS.
There's a reason why I did that. I know what you're talking about. I see your cursor.
I know.
You guys want to join us? Get your asses in here and talk about some E3. Let's go.
But
and now it's time for our feature presentation. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Yeah. E3 2016. The good, the bad, the yogi, or the fugly. Sorry.
what the hell?
We spent the last couple days, guys. We were covering E3 with some of our friends over at allgames.com. Love you guys. Thanks for having me. Some were disappointed this year, me included. But I think this year's E3 is very, very telling on what to expect going forward. Let's talk about it. Yogi,
All right, so
presser highlights.
yeah, we're gonna go through the pressers and just kind of just talk about the general mood and the brunt of the stuff to discuss. Then we're gonna briefly look at what was missing in action, like what some people were expecting there and wasn't there. Then the games, and then the hardware, and then some general observations. We might bounce around a little bit. Yeah, before I even talk about the pressers individually, I'd like to compare the big players in the video game industry in E3 to movies or movie makers. So I see Sony, especially after this E3, I see them as an independent film. They're like the independent film festival darlings. They're artsy, fartsy, sometimes provocative, and visually stunning, right? Maybe they take themselves too seriously. That's Sony. They have like abstract shit going on, like a plastic bag floating in the wind with dirt and debris, and that's like, whoa, it's so deep, man. That's what Sony is. Perhaps a little pretentious even. Microsoft, I'd probably liken them to like a Quentin Tarantino joint. Fun, sometimes shocking, and people love to hate on what you do. That's Microsoft. Nintendo, Saturday morning cartoons, and maybe on a good day they're Pixar or DreamWorks. Ubisoft this past E3, I would say they were a little edgier, maybe close to like Rob Zombie or at least those crazy French action filmmakers, that all seem to center around parkour, so that's appropriate because they are predominantly French, so that works. And EA wasn't even a filmmaker or a genre. They were just Fast and Furious series all the way. Nothing really new, but it's fun, and for many of us, a guilty pleasure. Let's face it, Fast and Furious, it's the same story over and over again, but we still watch it anyway.
All 8 of them.
And already we got some fun going on here. 2 people in the chat already saying Sony is the best. But BFT says Sony had a great conference. Microsoft was also good. So, all jokes aside. Go ahead, Obi.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you were gonna say which one you liked better, huh? Or you want to wait?
Oh, I'll wait for the next one.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell the topic. I'm gonna call him out. Remember what we talked about with Elder Scrolls?
Oh, okay.
I'm calling him out right now. I just gotta remember who it was I was talking to about it. I don't remember. Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, Fred.
Yeah.
Fred is Venom. And
Rojas.
we did after you joined us, we did like 3 more days of coverage. You
I
just
know.
weren't around.
I was trying to get there, but every time I was on there, nobody was there. Nobody called me on Skype.
Dude, we were like on 24/7 covering the stuff as it was happening. It was crazy. That's all right. Next year, we'll get them next year.
Invite me.
We'll be more prepared.
I might be at E3.
It's actually easier having been to E3. I think it's easier to cover it when you're off site because on site like there's a lot of BS you have to go through. But that's a whole other thing.
I'm not gonna cover anything.
I just want to see if you get some free shit.
I'm going to I'm going to get some free shit. Get some, I'm going to get contacts myself. So
Well,
we got stuff going in the wind, bro. We got stuff going in the background.
I don't doubt you, man. But this is the thing about E3. The people who enjoyed one presser more than the other, I think it's very telling of what they like. Because, and I learned something. Most of our friends, or at least most of my friends in the podcasting community and streaming community, like games that I am not a big fan of.
Like what?
And I'm more of a multiplayer guy, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays are into single player games or like story driven games.
Yeah, but I don't understand why.
And no, it's just I think we're devolving back into antisocial culture, and it's kind of trending more towards that. But we'll get to that because it's kind of a recurring theme. So let's talk about we'll talk about it by major pressers. So these are the press conferences. First one that we saw was EA, and as expected, there's no surprise here. More sports games and Battlefield. Battlefield 1 was actually surprisingly fun. And it's interesting. I mean, it was actually fast paced, so that was cool.
Can't wait for the beta to come out.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Can't wait.
It's funny because we got burnt. We used to do the historic battle, right? Historic battles was what shooters were in the past, like especially Call of Duty. Then it became modern. It's just we get burnt out on one thing, then we go back to something, and then it's like it's brand new. It's funny how
now it's historic again.
Yeah.
Well, somewhat.
So, but Call of Duty, I don't want to jump ahead. I want to go. We'll get there. We'll get there. But Forza Horizon was a 3. That looks really cool. Jump in and out gameplay. And they demoed it in 4K, on a regular PC, on an Xbox One, and some other things, just to show how well it performed on all the platforms and what the differences are. The 4K looked really nice, I gotta say, and it looks appealing. I'm not a big racing guy, like I enjoy it, but Horizon's more of like the arcade experience, so might be a good jumping on point for a lot of people. I think they worked out a lot of the kinks, and there's a lot of polish there for sure. But they made such a big deal about FIFA. Did you notice that?
Yeah, there was a couple streamers that I watched. Castro 1022, I believe his name is, on Twitch. They had him. It's one of the big, the ranked soccer players there, and they were making such a big shtick about it and a big deal about it, and
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
I'm not really a FIFA player anyway. I mean, if I had to do it and I say, okay, I'm gonna play this, and somebody says, hey, I want you to sit down there, start a stream, and I want you to stream FIFA, and I'm gonna pay you to do it, I would learn how to play it and become very good. But it's not something that it's not one of those games where I'm even with American football. I'm just like, we played it a little bit. We still got a league for Geeky Antics, but like, we're just kind of chilling right now. Nobody's really playing it. Now I'm playing lots of basketball. And did I mention I'm playing basketball?
No, you didn't. No.
So but no, FIFA was just. I don't know. It was kind of like they didn't know what they even wanted to say about it.
Well, this is the funny thing. Their audience, they're in the United States. You could assume that 99% of the people there are Americans. And they talked about FIFA with this conviction as if we should give a fuck. Like, they got some guy up on the stage, and I guess he's one of the legends of soccer, like one of the best coaches. And everybody's like, okay, Like,
who are you?
Yeah, and they devoted so much time to it. I get it; it's their bestseller, but know your audience, and I don't know.
EA, but you think about it too. EA has Madden, right? You have Madden 16. Now, if you were to go Madden 17 or Madden 7 and put one of these guys that everybody knows, like they did with Madden 98 when they put freaking John Madden out there or on a stage, not out there specifically, but on a stage promoting the Madden game.
Well, the
I'm
funny
sorry to
thing
say,
is,
I have no idea what not one coach's name in is soccer.
oh, I
Football,
know.
I can name a bunch. Baseball, I can name a bunch. Basketball, I can even name a bunch. Same.
You know, it's funny. They actually they showed off Madden 17, but it got like a mere fraction of what FIFA got. And the only thing they really said was improved graphics, better physics, like the same shit they say every year. Like, okay, like sell us on it. But all right, they did say one thing that was kind of cool. I don't know. This will probably be interesting to you. I don't know if you caught it, but they're talking about their esports stuff. How they're making it like they're adding built-in features so people can set up tournaments and have
Yes, I'm
different types of
very
competitions.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, and they're making it sound like it's gonna be something across all of their sports franchises. So finally, we're gonna see some uniformity. They're talking about a Challenger Series. I forget what else the other thing was. So basically, like they have a casual competition, they have the hardcore stuff. Like they have sponsored events, and then they have the EA hosted stuff. They're not sponsored stuff that they set up, something like that. So you know, different levels of competition. That's really smart. And an overall theme we saw in this E3 is that they did acknowledge E3 that esports is a huge thing.
Hmm.
So that's important. That's a good thing that they did that. But like I look at EA and I'm like, remember back in the days, Obi, like with the Genesis cartridges,
Hmm.
when you saw a yellow. I don't know about you, but when I
Yeah,
saw
we talked. You guys talked about this on your
the
after
yellow
show.
tab, the
And
yellow
all I
tab.
saw for 10 fucking minutes in the damn camera was fucking SG holding up his cartridge going, this tab right here, this one right here, and pointing at it for like 10 minutes. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
But yeah,
But,
EA used to be used to be mean quality. Used to mean you're gonna get a unique experience. You play games like Mutant League Football,
Mhm.
General Chaos. I mean, there's a bunch of games that I would not have discovered if it wasn't for the fact that I saw Electronic Arts, and I'm like, I haven't heard of this. I haven't seen anything come out about this, but hey, I'll pick it up. And that's it.
Mhm.
You know. So I mean, anything else about EA?
Not really. I mean, I do like EA, guys. Don't think I don't. I do like EA. I have EA access. I get a shit ton of news on EA every day, on what's going on with them and stuff. I mean, it's not that I don't like it, but it's just some things that they do. I mean, they destroy some games. They could have got into the MOBA scene with Dawngate and totally just destroyed it. I mean, Dawngate was popular already. It wasn't a League of Legends, but maybe they saw that, hey, Blizzard's gonna be putting this game out soon, and it's gonna blow up because it's a Blizzard game. Maybe they saw they couldn't make any money in it, but they destroy a lot of what they touch.
They did not give Dongate enough time. What was it, a year and 3 months? But a majority of that time was in closed beta.
Yeah, but you got to remember, once it wasn't all of them. Like, I'm not gonna say like they said, hey, we got a full team. Nope, you're done. Get out of here. We're done. We're shutting this down. No, some of the key players quit.
But Waystone, I know the Waystone, the studio behind it, was still down to do it.
Yeah,
They
well,
was they
but
were
all
still
the
interested in
designers,
developing it.
but a lot of the developers actually left because they heard they were getting fired, or I mean, there was a few of them that were there to the very end, like the very last day, but there were, because they were doing streams up to the last day,
Yeah, yeah.
which is,
Was
which was
this?
cool anyway. But then you got to think about the guy that left from there and went to another game, and now he's with Bethesda, and now it's a lot of stuff is like, I mean, which is what we're gonna talk about next. I mean, Bethesda, and I'm gonna just get right into it because this is the one that I got to talk about with you guys afterwards, and we made a deal. Okay, now I'm putting it on this podcast too. Okay, at 59 minutes and 11 seconds, Fred Rojas. We made a deal. If you get it, and we're talking about Elder Scroll, Yogi,
What?
what am I talking about?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls on. I couldn't think of what it was. Elder
I thought you
Scrolls
were trying
on.
to trap me. I'm like, this is a trick question.
No, like if Fred, if you get it, I will then get it and get whatever you get. You know, if you spend the $30 one or the however much it is plus the the expansion, sure, I'll get whatever you get and we'll make it a character together. So everybody, you heard it here second because it was here the allgames.com. You can go check it out. It was the Bethesda recording. You guys can hear it for yourself. But and I'm gonna probably regret this because he's probably gonna get it. So then I'll have two MOBAs to play.
MOBAs, MMOs.
MMOs to play, I meant.
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff to do. That I think that game is ruining my brother's life because like he's like me and him are night and day. I love him to death, but he's very straight edge. You know, by the rules, by the book kind of guy, and no bullshit kind of guy. You know,
Right.
and like he's all about being punctual, keeping up with commitments, all that kind of stuff. And I think he's missed work because of this game.
Oh no.
So, you know,
No,
that's,
bro, you gotta draw the line.
that's the problem with MMOs. Like, you get lost in that world, and you know,
Yeah, but you gotta draw that line. And I'm not saying that, and I have to go use the restroom, so this is the last thing I want to say real quick. But I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to play these games, but you have to realize from somebody that's played an MMO for the last 12 plus years, including the Warcraft series, it's something that you need to say, hey, I need to get this much done in the game. This is what I'm going to do. Well, then you might not need to go fuck around with your friends for an hour. Get your other stuff that you need to get done. So then because you need to go to bed, you need to get off. You need to keep going on with your life. Because if he doesn't, you lose spouses, you lose jobs, you lose homes, you lose a whole bunch of shit.
yeah, marriages and all kinds of relationships destroyed by MMOs. It's scary. But so Bethesda presser took place, and by leaps and bounds ahead of what anything EA had to say, because they actually had some surprises and they had a wide variety of things. By the time Bethesda finished, I was like, you know what, this is probably going to be the most diverse of the pressers. I know, as far as like the software out from that, was just kind of trolling. But they definitely they met all my expectations. But people were thinking there was going to be a new Elder Scrolls game. I knew there was not a fat chance in hell. Because even though it's a different studio that maintains Elder Scrolls Online, it's still an Elder Scrolls game. So they're not going to have something that's going to detract from Elder Scrolls Online. The way they see it, if you want your Elder Scrolls fixed, play Elder Scrolls Online. There's no way they're going to double dip in that. They could do spin-off stuff. So, they have Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game, cool, but that's not a mainline Elder Scrolls game. So no problem. I just had a feeling that, everybody's doing the whole remastered thing. There's going to be some kind of remastered announcement at Bethesda. And it was. But after the Elder Scrolls Online announcement that they rocked out, talking about how it's one Tamriel and everybody can play with each other, and they basically broke down the barriers and all the elitist crap in the game. Awesome. This is long-awaited stuff. But the big thing was they're bringing back Skyrim, and it's going to be remastered for the next-gen consoles. Basically, it's what PC players have been enjoying all this time, but with native support for the mods. And this is a trend we're going to see more and more of, the mod community, being hired or being paid off, and then these things becoming official mods or supported mods, and whatever way it is implemented. Quake Champions was revealed,
I'm so
and
getting that game.
it looks like it's Quake, but with powers. Is it a MOBA? Maybe. But they show a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff Bethesda showed off. New content from Fallout 4. Stuff you'd expect. I know I'm forgetting tons of stuff, but overall, make sure, by the way, if you guys have not signed up for it yet, go to the Bethesda website and sign up for the Elder Scrolls Legends beta. We can play that. I'm signed up for both.
It's awesome, guys.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I'm signed up for Xbox and PC, so maybe we can play together.
Me too.
What else? The only thing I was hopeful for is I keep hoping they'll have some kind of announcement about Rage, because id is part of Bethesda. I really like Rage. Rage is a game that does not get enough credit, because Rage last generation pushed those consoles to the maximum. I mean, people forget the Xbox 360, 512 megabytes, and other bottlenecks to deal with. But that game was pushing what felt like 60 frames per second, and just beautiful
45.
high resolution. I mean, whatever it was smooth. And I'm not someone to put a lot of stock in that kind of stuff. A lot of people jerk off to that, like, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second. I don't really give a shit about it. If I get a steady 30 frames per second, I'm fine. And the other shit is just freaking just measuring your dick against someone else's. And that's the way I look at it. But this game was just beautiful, but it's also fun. Like the gunplay, the different kind of weapons you got, the fact that it was an open world and there was like almost no loading, no sharding. That game was amazing, but like it got buried. And the saddest part is the ending was so anticlimactic. And then the other part, the multiplayer had nothing to do with like what you enjoyed about the main game. It was a freaking racing game and dune buggies. They're like, what?
Wait, what game are we talking about right now?
Rage.
Okay.
That's one of that's like the only new production I can think of from Bethesda id collabo.
Well,
everything's been Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, like the usual suspects.
I did like the direction they were going to with the VR. I did like that part, just because they were talking about with VR you can, Doom.
They did bring it to VR.
VR is going to be with Fallout 4. You can actually you can actually play the game with it. I think it's gonna be cool. It's not that I can go out and buy a VR right now, but
Dude, and again, I'm not like such a troll, but if they did mention that, I forgot completely about it. Like, my brain just tuned it out. I just focused on everything else but the VR stuff. Like my brain said, nope, don't give a shit.
You would. And you just need to not even say what Microsoft's doing then.
Well, everybody, of course, is getting on the VR bandwagon. That's just a given because it's a buzzword, right? And that's attracting people. And we'll see how long that lasts. So, anything else about Bethesda?
No.
And VR, VR also for Doom.
Yep.
The weird thing too, people talking about VR and they're saying that first-person experiences or first-person shooters do not lend themselves well to VR, and I'm like, and
why?
Third-person would?
First-person would be the way to go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, isn't that the point to make yourself feel like you're in there?
Right, and to answer a question in chat with BFT, VR's also Doom. VR needs to also be more accessible. I'm seeing releases and comments and forums and all that other stuff about where they're trying to maybe even lower the price of VR so more people can get it. But it's so expensive right now. How much is let me see. How much is a VR set?
Is it the one for Sony is I thought it was $399, and then you spend $100 more to get a part so that it'll work with the PS4. Some shit. I don't even. That's how little I care about it. Like, there's hidden costs, and then they all pretty much look. You're all pretty. Generally, you're looking for spending for VR. You're looking at spending anywhere from $500 to $1,000. You know, depending on what you need. Yeah, $599 for Oculus, $799 for Vive. But that's just like the base, just for the gear. But there might be other hidden costs because you need a computer capable of running it, and then the software, and like there's a lot of crazy shit like the Oculus Store, like the pretty much all VR is compatible with each other. Like all the software works with any VR unit. But if you go to like the native store, like I was hearing from a lot of people, if you go to the Oculus Store, there's like huge markup. Because they take advantage of the fact that people won't go to like the Steam store or something else to buy the software. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and there's a lot of shenanigans. You know, to me, it's something that you do because you could do it, right? I got the money to do it. Like, if I had the money to buy a helicopter, I probably would. Doesn't mean that everybody should get a helicopter. And that's kind of one of those things. It's like, I'm just showing off at this point. Like, there's no real compelling reason to get it. Like, I'm not looking at it and saying, man, I'm really missing out. I'm like, it's more like, I look at it more like 3D. Remember 3D Blu-rays? That was supposed to be a big thing. Where are they now? You know? Like, it's just another, like, VR comes and goes. It'll probably stick this time, but we're still at least 2 years out before we'll see something really compelling, like dedicated, VR experiences, and not these take a game that's already popular and take a little piece of it and making it to like a VR experience.
Well,
like taking one mission from Star Wars and making it into a game. Like,
well, like the PlayStation VR is what, it's $399 or something like that, and it comes out this year in October, I believe. It's $399. You get you can go buy a VR headset for fairly cheap. From what it is, like even just Best Buy right here, you got a Samsung Gear VR, and it's for it can be hooked up to, I'm not gonna do all that, but I mean, you can get them cheap. You just gotta have all the other stuff to go with it.
Yeah,
you said.
I mean, everybody's with so many people jumping on board this time around. Obviously, not gonna go away. But I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be, a luxury. But think about it. For video games, it took well over a decade, really, for it to go from being a novelty / luxury to something that was more mainstream. So that's kind of the same thing I see now. So, yeah, we'll see, because people are not gonna really develop unique, fresh new experiences until there's enough of an install base. And then the multiplayer stuff, we're still even further out from that, because what's the chances you'll find people, even in your neighborhood or even your city, hell, your state that might have VR, the odds are against you.
Right. Well, I mean, that's comes down to, from what BFT said earlier, they need to just be more accessible. Either the price point needs to come down, or, they just need to do something to where more people can get them, because if they can, to where more people can get these, they're going to sell a lot more, because, like you said, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon.
My thing with VR too is there's so many opportunities in the gaming industry to develop better games, to write better code, to on PC side, developing software that universally performs well. Like, there's a lot of lazy development out there now. Like, I remember before, it used to be that a developer look at finding ways to cram the most performance out of their software, regardless of the hardware platform. Now it's like, I'm lazy, so I'm gonna write really shitty software. So you need to upgrade to be able to run this. That's a shitty approach. And then we've talked about it before. Like, AI has a long way to go. There's just so many things, so many experiences, so many concepts, so many mechanics, so many systems that haven't been perfected or even close to mastered, and we're going into a novelty kind of gimmick thing to take the same flaws into a different arena. That really bothers me. The core experience should be the focus, and then we'll get to that. But anyway, so Microsoft, as far as I'm concerned, I think they had the most well-rounded of the pressers.
Mm-hmm.
And at the risk of sounding like a fanboy, I enjoyed it a lot. And I had low expectations for all of E3, to be honest. Even though I do feel like this is a pivotal time for a number of reasons. Everybody's kind of playing it safe. But I thought it was funny that later on, Sony tried to respond to their hardware announcements because Microsoft wasted no time. They announced the Slim, the Xbox One S,
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat. And they announced the Scorpio at the end of the show, which, we're not really surprised. They didn't go into pricing, so that's cool. They left it pretty open, and that's cool too. They said this is the stuff that the developers have asked for, so they will not be limited in their vision. Okay, lazy programmers, I get it. But I thought it was funny because later on, when Sony had Sony was one of the last ones that day. Sony was like, they had like a subtle kind of snarky remark. They're like, well, we realized that blah 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 blah, and our hardware already supports high fidelity and VR natively. Right now, you could do it, like something like that, because that was their leading for the VR stuff. I thought it was kind of funny. That's kind of their way of jabbing at Microsoft. Like they always find a way to spin stuff. Like they don't want to admit that they have inferior hardware now, so it's like, oh, but you could do VR right now. Okay, cool. Don't, and that's what I know we're not gonna get Sony yet, but they didn't even mention the Neo. But anyway,
Well,
Xbox,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop you right there. The other thing that I enjoyed about the Xbox, for a lot of the games that are coming out here, now and in the future, Microsoft will be playable on of course the Xbox One and Windows 10. If you buy a downloadable game on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on PC.
that's the kicker. It's gotta be downloadable.
Yes, downloadables. Okay. Yeah, for somebody like me or anybody else that doesn't care about hard copies, that's great.
Oh yeah, thanks, Ob.
I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but still, like it's to the point where
anytime I downloaded a game, it's a $10 surcharge on top of it. That shit adds up.
I'm not saying it doesn't, dude. I'm not.
I'm just saying, but it is cool. It's called Xbox Anywhere. That's what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they said that it's basically cross-buy. You get a digital copy on one, you get a digital copy on the other. I love that. It's people saying that it's going to cannibalize their own sales, but Microsoft is treating Xbox as a platform. They already said they're not going to be console generations anymore. They're all about the software sales and the service side. And I think with that, it's going to position them to have partnerships. The only way Sony could compete with this, because now that means Xbox has the larger install base if you count all the Windows 10 computers out there, right?
Yeah.
PC Master Race. The only way they could possibly compete with that is if they partner up with Steam, and I don't see that happening. Because Steam is good on their own. They don't need to favor anyone in particular as a publisher, So let me see. BFT saying, but they don't have inferior hardware right now. Scorpio won't be out to holiday 2010. Xbox One S still won't be better than the PS4 and the hardware side. However, the cross-buy play is exciting. Yeah. It's just funny, like, Sony is really good at, like, it's convenient. Like, they always follow up Microsoft, and they always find some way to spin it. So, I caught that. But, and I say that, and it doesn't really matter about the hardware. At the end of the day, it's all about the games. I still find it funny. Anyway, Obi, anything else about Microsoft in general? We're gonna get into specific games later.
Recore?
Well, we're gonna get to the games.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Recore stood out. LFG. Did you hear about that? LFG and clubs.
Yeah.
So they're gonna add. This is kind of like what they had on 360, where you had broadcast beacons to let people know when they launched the game. It would say you're looking to play that same game too, so that it'll be easy to find friends to play the game and coordinate with each other. The LFG is taking that to a greater scale, so you can find new people that play the game and whatever, and maybe it might set specific criteria to team up. So it's pretty cool, and this works outside of the game too. So this could be a game changer. Clubs, you can set up clubs. Clubs to me, from what they described it, is kind of like forums, social groups on Facebook, kind of something like that maybe.
Yeah.
So a lot of potential there. Yeah, we got a lot of discussion here. We sparked a lot of discussion. You don't get the cheapness with the PC.
Yeah, but BFT also said if they partner with Steam, us PC users are going to get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and again, I can't stress it enough. PC is not
PS4 Super Ultimate Master Race.
PC is not as expensive as people think it is. It's actually cheaper in the long run because the software is cheaper and you don't have all the hidden costs, and it's upgradable. That's what people don't realize is the total cost of ownership, the life cycle of a PC. Whereas a console, if they stop supporting it, there's no software left for it. What are you gonna do? Keep playing old stuff? Okay, sure. A PC will always play. I can still play games made in the 80s or 90s, no problem. And, I might have to go through some hoops, but console is like you gotta play with someone else's rules. There's a lot of hidden costs, and we wrote on the cost before, but I'm not gonna get into it. BT says he's excited for the cross-buy. No reason to potentially buy an Xbox One now.
Okay, games.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying that too. Like, there's no point to buy an Xbox One now, and as someone that's been a long time PC gamer, I'm enjoying the console thing because I get to just enjoy the games and not have to fuck with anything and not have to worry with all the different things, and so it's not nice. There's something for it. There's something to be said about that. So I think Xbox One is still gonna have a place, and I think if anything, people will like that convenience. They'll say, "Hey, I don't want to build another PC, but I want to play." Like your save games follow you. Did you catch that, Obi?
Yep.
Your save games follow you, so you're not gonna build another $1,000 or $2,000 gaming rig for each room, are you? That's madness. But throw an Xbox One in there, and you can play the same game, pick up where you left off. That's smart. That's the part people are not thinking about. Yeah,
that's wasting money. Take your ass back into the fucking initial room and play, goddammit. You're gonna have a fucking game station in each room. You're out of your mind.
Well, let's say you only have one computer in your house, and this is probably a typical scenario. You have your family computer, and that also happens to be your gaming computer. And your wife wants to look up some stuff. Maybe she wants to watch the latest Once Upon a Time. I'm speaking hypothetically. I'm not saying this really happened to me or anything. And then you're like, well, fuck. Now I can't do shit. Well, then you can go play in your Xbox One somewhere in another room.
So basically,
yeah, said, who builds a PC for every other room, man? You'd be surprised. And lots of people with way too much money to spend. I think it's actually gonna help them anything, and the treating it Xbox brand as a platform, as an ecosystem, is smarter than worrying about hardware. Because I think hardware is becoming less and less relevant. People they're throwing out the last ditch efforts and bringing up specs that look good on paper, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Are the games fun? What's available? Where are my friends at? That's all that should really matter, right?
That's all I care about is like who's playing. I mean, like now since since we've been talking about this and I'm getting more friends, like more friends are on like I've got a few more friends on PS4, but it's not to the point where it's gonna be strong enough because of the way if esports go the way it's gonna keep going, I'm gonna end up getting a PS4 anyway. So it's gonna be a point where I have both. But it's I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot of stinking. And, some people say, well, why not just buy all the consoles? And I'm like, even if you got the money for that, and you could justify it to your wife or to yourself, fine. The problem is, why should you have to? I think there's nothing wrong with choosing one or two consoles because who has time to play all that? Like I'm not gonna buy a PS4 to play the one or two games that are mildly interesting to me. There's other ways I can use that money. You know, that's just the way I think. So, I feel that's a common concern people have. They have to choose one way or another because having every console is just it's kind of a waste of time and money. I don't know. Maybe that's me. So Ubisoft, which they revealed that you could say either they interviewed a bunch of their own people and did this whole montage, and apparently their own the people that work for Ubisoft don't know if it said if you pronounce it Ubisoft or Ubisoft. But who cares? It's French. Doesn't matter. They were kind of the bad boys of E3. Did you notice that, Obi?
Yeah.
You know, they dropped a lot of F bombs and they had like a freaking gangbanger hosting the thing and interviewing people. It was kind of crazy. Like,
Kind of scary there for a minute. I thought somebody was gonna get shot or some shit.
yo, I don't know what was going on, but it was interesting.
Ubisoft, motherfucker! Boop boop.
He was kind of scared, dude. But I think nothing really matters besides the fact that they did not announce a new Assassin's Creed game. Thank God, because they've been running that franchise to the ground. Let it cool off. We won't forget about it. They got a movie coming out, and they announced that they have other movies coming out. Apparently, it's like a joint venture with Sony, no less. Sony Pictures. So, ah, crowd, we're not entertaining enough for crowd. He said he'd see us next time. Not E3.
Well, if he had something to say, get your ass on TeamSpeak. I bet you won't.
He doesn't have TeamSpeak.
Free installation.
You know, we're going through all this stuff. This is all. If you're passionate about video games, we're getting into the nitty gritty of what's going on here in the industry. But anyway, so they got a Watch Dogs 2 movie coming out, and of course Watch Dogs movie and a Watch Dogs 2 video game coming out. I think the coolest thing I noticed was that to celebrate the 30 years of Ubisoft, we're getting a free game every month at Club Ubisoft. So if you go to Club Ubisoft, you get a free game each month for PC, if I'm not mistaken. And the first game is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which is a really strong entry in that series. Fun fact, Prince of Persia is what eventually became Assassin's Creed. So we probably won't see like a real Prince of Persia ever again, except for like the mobile stuff they come out with. But like that Assassin's Creed was spawned from a concept they had with Prince of Persia. Kind of interesting how that worked out. Obi, you think you'll be getting that?
Yeah.
Sands of Time is also one of the easier Prince of Persia. Like the first Prince of Persia they did, just like the original Mega Computer Prince of Persia, that thing was pretty brutal. Good times, good platforming, good combat. PC gaming show. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Anything else about Ubisoft?
Nope.
The PC gaming show. A lot of people did not like all the talking, but I like Day 9. Day 9's a cool dude. It was three hours, but it was 3 strong hours because they covered a lot of shit. In fact, we're probably gonna have to cover the rest of this next show. When there's no way we're gonna get through all the games that they covered. But I had a lot of fun with it. Did you have fun with the PC gaming show?
I really didn't pay attention to it.
Okay, a lot of people probably skipped through it. What I liked about it is that they did not focus on the hardware and the elitist crap. It was about the games. It was about the passion of the people driving the industry, and the freedom that PC gaming allows. In fact, they even had what's his name? Oh God, I can't think of his name now. Something Spectre. Freaking! Oh my God, I lost his name. What is his name? Warren Spector. That's his name. He's been involved in a bunch of games. Deus Ex. Uh, Jesus, I can't think of him now. I mean, this guy's a long-time veteran of the gaming industry, and he did like a 20-minute spiel. It felt like 20 minutes, but it got me it got me a little teary, a little passionate. I was like, it put some fire in my belly, talking about how, back in the days, you needed money, you needed investors, in order to get an idea going. But now, the way PCs have come along, anyone with an idea can bring it to life. And I'm like, that's true. The only thing that's really stopping us is ourselves. So, PC Gaming Show was very inspirational. A lot of games, and they did have a little bit of a portion there dedicated to the new Radeon cards, because it was sponsored by them and PC Gamer. But overall, I really enjoyed it. A wide variety of software. Actually, now that I think about it in retrospect, I think it was the most variety of all the platforms, which makes sense because it's PC.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting one of those new Radeon cards too.
Dude, hopefully we'll get to that. Maybe we'll skip ahead and talk about that real quick. So let's talk about Sony and Nintendo. Sony, the best part to me is that they didn't have people talking. Because I can't stand half of the people that work at Sony, especially Sean Layden. That guy's just stiff, and every time I see him, I can't help but think, I don't think you even know how to hold a controller, let alone spell it. Like, it's just so inauthentic and phony, and just it's cringy to me. But this time, all they did was live gameplay footage, and trailers, and it was great. The only thing that was bad is that they didn't have enough lead-ins, so like, you saw a bunch of VR games, and then you saw it like Call of Duty in space. And at first, it was like, "Oh, is this a space flight simulator in VR?" And then we realized that there's no segmentation, so it was really confusing. But other than that, a lot of people think it was phoned in, and that's kind of what I've heard throughout the podcast community and streaming community. But I actually liked it because I don't want to hear those guys talk. They do not, like, all the freaking salesy talk they have is just such.
That's everybody.
Yeah, but Sony's like the worst. Watch Sony in the past few years. Like, they always have people in suits and very stiff and talking like in really like fancy words. And I feel like Phil Spencer. I think he's like an everyday kind of guy. Like, he doesn't put on airs, and I really could believe that he's into gaming and he cares about the industry as a whole. And yes, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare does look amazing. I think a lot of us were shocked. We were like, Call of Duty doesn't even matter anymore. Nope, they brought us back.
Oh no, I plan on getting that.
Yeah, and they have grappling hooks, so everybody needs that.
Yes. Well, no, I'm gonna get it because I'm Xbox. I know Fatal Blades is gonna get it on PS4, because that's where the Call of where it's going for this next expansion as well. So he'll be getting it on PS4, and then I think we're both gonna get it on PC. Maybe not PC. Maybe we're gonna get it on Xbox and PC. I don't know, but we're gonna be getting it and playing it, so you guys will be able to see that when
Yeah, the funny thing was that most of the people that were watching that, like, we were there in the All Games IRC and on podcasts, watching this stuff live, streaming it live, and most of us were like, "Is this a new Wing Commander game? Is this a Star Wars game?" And then, as soon as we saw the gunplay, I'm like, "Oh, it's Call of Duty." So, still, it's funny. Battlefield goes way back in past, and then Infinite Warfare goes to the future.
That's where. Well, you got to think about the last 3 or 4. Well, at least the last 3 Call of Duties have been progressively getting more futurized.
Yeah, it's true.
We got to think
Black
of
Ops 2
Black Ops. Go ahead.
No, half of Black Ops 2 was in the future, right? And then the other part was like in Vietnam or something weird.
Yeah, and then
flashbacks.
Advanced Warfare came out, and then you could boost and you could use your jets, but only for a certain time. And then
Oh shit.
And
I
then
forgot about Advanced Warfare.
and then another one came out where you could do a little bit more, and then Black Ops 3 came out to where you could, you could boost a whole lot. Like you could run from one end of the map and to the other end of the map and never touch the ground. I mean, it was
Yeah,
just
Black Ops 3 is all. It seems like it's all about perfecting the parkour.
movement. It is, dude. It is because if you can get, because there's timings to everything. And I'll just use like Fringe for instance. It's one side of it has got a train track, and then the other side of it has kind of like a couple of shops, and then a courtyard and stuff like that. And then there's a mid with vehicles parked. If you time it right, you can do a jump sniping, where somebody's going to be running through there at that time, where you don't even have to see the guy. You just shoot and it'll hit him. I've done it. It took probably a couple thousand shots to do it, but I've done it. Some of these, I mean, just the timing to get from one spawn to where you need to be before they get there. I mean, it's everything. And if you can do that parkour where you get boosts and ledge boosts and you can go faster, you're beating that time.
Like it's like a racing game.
Kinda.
So what else? I said hopefully. I think yeah, we're not gonna have the time to get into all the games, so we'll get into the games because there's a bunch of them. I think the biggest one for Sony was The Last Guardian. People were clamoring over that, but they showed those trailers get shorter and shorter, and they look crappier and crappier every year. This game has been like 5 years in the making, 6 years in the making. It finally got a release date, so it's coming out this year, holiday season, if I'm not mistaken. People really lost it with the game they opened up with, but we'll, hopefully we'll probably get to the next show. We'll see how much time we have after this, but
Okay, well
hey.
then let's do this then. Did you just say give us one game that you're gonna actually really enjoy coming out? How's that?
On Sony?
Out of the games.
Well, we still got one more person, one more presser. Nintendo.
Boring.
I know, there's not much to say about them. 24/7 Zelda, and they sandwiched in the little Pokemon Sun Moon. But you know what? They had a cute girl there, very soft spoken, whole different tone. There's a whole different tone from everything else. But they had some eye candy, they had some cute girls there playing their game, so that made it a little more tolerable. I think we should mention overall that there was a few things missing in action this E3. Augmented reality, where was that? Crackdown 3, I know it's been delayed, but you think they would bring up a little trailer, talk about it a little bit, assure people that it's still on a good path. No Man's Sky, like this was like the one game outside of The Last Guardian that everybody's been talking about on the Sony side, and they didn't even show as part of the montage. I don't think. So that was kind of weird.
Didn't. It didn't at all.
But that's coming out August, right?
August 9th on PS4
and PC.
and PC. Yeah.
There was a dirty rumor that it was going to be delayed again till December, but I don't think that's true.
That is one game that we were saying that. Remember, I was saying that I will be getting this game, just to get it. Really want to play it. Ow!
I'm hopeful for it, but I'm not a day one guy because I have a feeling that they have their plans are way too auspicious, too ambitious. They built it up so big that I think it's just guaranteed to disappoint. It's like one of those things like if I hype a movie up to you and I'm like, yo, you gotta watch this movie, it's the best thing ever. It's better than freaking sex and chocolate at the same time. And you're like, damn.
And then better than sex and chocolate at the same time. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, and then you, for some dumb reason, you believe me and go check it out, and then you're like, you were wrong. I didn't even orgasm once. Like that's kind of how I feel here. like it's just they have a lot of great concepts, but I feel like even now, you watch any of the interviews and any gameplay footage, you read any of the press releases. I still don't get a good sense of what it really is. Is it a sandbox experience? Is it story driven? You know, the multiplayer, they talk about multiplayer, but like they barely tell you anything about it. They say, well, yeah, it's multiplayer, but the chances that you'll run into another player in this world, this universe that's endless, is pretty much like a 1 in a billion chance. Like, well, what the fuck is the point? Like, there's a lot of shenanigans. Like, I don't
Well,
want to shit on it, but
I'm not gonna shit on it or do anything else either. But I'm still gonna get it unless I just see stuff before it comes out to where it's just like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get it anymore. I'm I'm good. I'm just kind of waiting for it to come out.
I mean, it definitely has a lot of potential, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
no doubt that there's a lot of potential with it, but I just feel like the way we've painted it in our heads, we've developed a perfect game in our head, and it's not going to be that.
No, I
So
know it's not gonna be perfect. No game is perfect. I mean, on a very slim occasion, there might be a game that's just like, oh my god, this is so good, and it feels like it's close to perfect. But it's every game that comes out is just like there's something wrong with it one way or another. Somebody's gonna find something wrong. It happens.
yeah, and I don't expect perfection, but I'm just saying like there's a certain point where you set up for failure because you've made up your own conclusion. You're like you're fantasizing in your head.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to say that there's like 143 games coming out that were let at E3. 143 games. Jesus.
143 games. What's that?
That were revealed at E3. Not revealed, but that came out at E3 that were said something. It's in chat. Games at E3 2006.
143. Yeah, that's not about right.
I mean
Yeah.
everything from Resolver, Agents of Mayhem, Batman Arkham Knight VR, Arkham, Batman Arkham VR, the Call of Duties, even
The
something
VR
as
stuff they showed though, I don't know if you felt the same way, but it wasn't compelling at all. Like
now.
they didn't really show anything. Like the fuck. Like again, the people that bought it don't care because they can spend that kind of money and not really blink. But like, if you're someone that's really saving up for this and then you buy it, like I feel sorry for you. Like I hope you can get your money back because really, if you're someone that really money's tight, but you could probably save up money or put some money aside for it, like really hold off on it because like it's not there. It's just not there. It's something. It's a novelty. It's. I would not jump on it. There's just better ways. Like go to a strip club. You can spend far less money. You might even get a blowjob out of it. It's just saying. That's my scale. Beer and blowjobs.
Hey,
Now, but anyway, back to serious business. Missing in action. These are things that So we mentioned a few of them already. We talked about augmented reality, and people are saying, why wasn't augmented reality? Microsoft made a big thing about that. Why did they jump on VR? Because VR is what everybody thinks they want right now, and AR is gonna be a lot more expensive, apparently. Because they're talking about a development kit for augmented reality. Their Hololens is like 3K, and I think they're shifting that. I think they're looking at more commercial applications of augmented reality and not so much the gaming stuff. So, and that makes sense. At least they're honest about it. Like, hey, this is really kick-ass technology, but to make this accessible for gamers, we'd have to eat so much of the cost or release a shit product or both. So they said no. So I think they're gonna stick with AR for commercial release for now.
mm-hmm.
And then maybe in the future when we have cheaper micro systems, components they could produce something that's more accessible for a wider audience. But we're not there yet. I don't think virtual reality is there yet, but augmented reality apparently is more expensive. We get some holograms. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Fuck you.
Like, bitch, stop walking in on me while I'm trying to jerk off.
Like, don't you knock? Oh, sorry, Obi-Wan Kenobi, but you're our only hope. Fuck you.
Do you remember like the hologram always like she always bent over? That has to be the source material for so many memes at this point. I mean, even though it's so old, like she always bent over because like she had to like turn off the recorder. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Bill like she'll bending over like, oh yeah, baby, back that thing up. Anyway, random
You
tangent.
are weird.
But you know what? There's some people out there right now. They're nodding their head like, "I know what you're saying, brother. I know what you're saying." Elder Scrolls 6. Why did people think this was gonna be announced this year? Like, if you, all right, I understand the fans, they want it, but if you're like someone that does any kind of video game coverage, I don't care if you consider yourself press, a blogger, a Twitch streamer, you know, you're part of the media. That's all that matters, right? There's no way Elder Scrolls 6 was gonna come out. Elder Scrolls Online, believe it or not, is still doing really well. It just got for last year, it got a MMO of the year.
Yep.
World of Warcraft didn't.
Yeah, it did.
So that's a big deal. In the space that we thought was dying, apparently it's resurging. They got the Elder Scrolls card game coming out. They're in a good place. And then they just released, of course, Skyrim remastered. The last thing is exclusives. Like people keep talking about like exclusives. Like, well, if you get that system, you can't play this exclusive. Nah, stop it. Exclusives don't matter anymore. Sony doesn't have good exclusives. Microsoft doesn't have a good exclusive because it's not about exclusives anymore. I think it comes down to what ecosystem you enjoy. That's really it. And you know the other stuff we talked about before.
Right.
I mean, are there any exclusives that pique your interest?
Not really. I'm really like I was looking through the list of the 140 something games that I mean, not really one of them stuck out. To be honest. I mean, yeah, not really.
Yeah, you know, my general observation is I think the people that got excited about Sony are people that enjoy single player experiences, story driven experiences, so called immersive experiences. There's nothing wrong with that. But like the moment Sony's conference started, you knew it was Sony. They had the music, they even had a live orchestra. And it was like most of it was depressing music. Like I felt like I was watching Lifetime Movie Network, and I wanted to cut my vein about 5 minutes in.
I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of Gears of War. I mean, Gears of War 4 is coming out for Xbox and Windows, Xbox Windows 10.
Well, you already have an Xbox One, so you're good.
Yeah.
I'm saying like anything on Gay Station. I mean PlayStation.
He's gonna eat your ass alive for that. Not really that I've seen. I mean, there was a couple that I was, kind of, that kind of piqued my interest. Detroit Becoming Human, which is on PS4. The God of War, which was something that I was looking at that I really liked.
That's that they opened up with that, like old man Kratos. Kind of an interesting decision. Like now they did a big thing because you know how God of War before used to have the fixed cameras. Now it's got the over the shoulder, third person view, which is kind of traditional now. That's pretty standard now. Yeah, it looks interesting, but like everything I saw on Sony, I couldn't help but feel like there's a game like that I could play on PC or Xbox. I don't care enough to just play your version of it, or it's a game where it feels like they're just trying to make you sad. Like, I'm actually surprised during the Sony conference they had Don't Nod, the guys that made Life is Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play Life is Strange, OB?
No.
Well, a lot of our viewers and listeners have been saying, you gotta play Life is Strange. And everybody's told me like, I've heard Life is Strange is like best game this decade. Oh, it's a must buy. Oh, you gotta play it.
Okay.
You should not.
And
You cannot call yourself a gamer.
I'll tell all those people and continue to tell all those people, if it's a must buy, then buy it for me. If I get it and then I want to play it, I'll play it. I mean, that's just how it is. That's how everything is.
Well, this is the thing about Life is Strange. I see that people love it. The characters are interesting.
I mean, damn.
The story is great, but there's no real gameplay. Like the gameplay is a few steps above of a point-and-click adventure game, or a Telltale game. And while I like that genre, I think that genre was popular for a time because we had nothing else to play, so we kept perfecting games, or we wanted to escape. But it's a different time now. And I look at this, so why is Life Strange so popular? And I felt like every game Sony was really honing in on was like a Life is Strange kind of thing, or one of these visually stunning type of game. Like again, single player experiences. But Don't Nod revealed something. He revealed Vampire, and it wasn't Life is Strange. And I was like, okay, there's potential here. There's still hope. Did you see that game Horizon Zero Dawn? That looks cool too, but then I couldn't help but look at it and say, oh, that's Witcher 3. So like, I don't know. I know people saw the other game, the Days Gone, with the Death Stranding with Norman Reedus in there, Spider-Man. This is all the stuff that we saw on Sony, but nothing really told me I need to get this console.
Right. Yeah. No. For me, I mean, I'm. You know, think about it. A lot of people with the direction that they're going in with whatever console they want, whether they want a PS4 or an Xbox, it's whatever, the games they can think of when they think of PS4. What's the game you think of when you think of PS4? For me, it's MLB The Show. I know I can never ever play that unless I get a PS4. Is it something that, and I've said this before on other podcasts, is it something that I will buy a PS4 for? Not right now, no. I mean, you got to think about it. Where I'm coming from, the only time I'm going to buy a PS4 is if I have to because of the esports. That's the direction I'm going in. So it's something like BFT for when he bought his, he's because he's had an Xbox, he's had all this stuff, but when he bought his PS4, it's because of certain games. Batman Arkham Knight was one of his main games that he was playing on it.
Which you could play anywhere.
Well, you know what I mean. But for like me, I get Xbox not necessarily for games. I get Xbox because of the people that I thought were gonna play with me. You catch that? Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Well, no, that's not you. No, you actually play. I mean, the people that. And if you know who you're talking, if you know who I'm talking about, and you know who you are, then you take this at your own discretion.
Obi, real quick, did you sign up for the Gwent beta?
No.
Why not? PlayGwent.com.
I've never even heard of it.
It's the card game from Witcher.
No, I'm good.
Or Paragon this weekend. I know we gotta wrap up.
No, I'm good.
It's a free play. Oh man, let me finish my spiel. Maybe someone else wants to hear. Paragon free to play beta weekend.
Yeah, I'm good.
This weekend. God damn it, Opie. I gotta say, what? The one thing I got excited about from the EA conference, Mass Effect Andromeda, but it didn't show any gameplay. It was all freaking people drawing stuff and models and talking and jerking each other off. But Mass Effect Andromeda, that's like one of the few times I'll be a fanboy and be like, that's a must buy. Cause I know what I like, and hopefully they'll keep the multiplayer in there too. Cause that Mass Effect 3 had
I
that
can't
right.
say one that is for all PC, Xbox, and PS4 that I want to get is Prey.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that game looks so
the
awesome, man.
Groundhog's Day
Mm-hmm.
simulator. That shit was fucked up, man.
Prey?
And it had nothing to do with the original game that came out on 360. I was looking at it like, what the fuck? We do need to play more Halo Wars 2. So make sure you guys sign up on the open beta. Well, you don't have to sign up, you just download it. Yeah, Prey looks good. That shit got me intrigued as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is his eye red? Like, this one eyeball is red.
Yep.
What the fuck's going on there? Did you see We Happy Few?
Yes.
That shit looks fucked up. It
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of Bioshock, and while I know it's not gonna be Bioshock, I appreciate that style. Like, there's a void there, so I'll accept it. That's gonna be a budget game. We Happy Few, if I'm not mistaken, because it's an indie studio. And Recore. This is one that's strange. This is the last one I'll mention tonight. At first, I thought this was a different game. Now it looks like it might be a MOBA, and it's also developed by what's his name? Kenji Inafune, the guy behind Mega Man, and now Mighty Number 9. Clearly, there's been a lot of effort put into this game, and not so much Mighty Number 9. But we still don't really know what it is. It looks cool. There's robots, and you get to kind of build them, and there's platforming and grappling hook and all kind of stuff. I don't know what it is though, so we'll see.
It looks very intriguing.
It's a $40 game too. I thought this was gonna be a full price game, so like I have mixed feeling about it. Like $40, I'm like I'm in, but I'm like, wait, why is it cheap? Why is it so cheap? You know what I mean? Like this is
So
the
you
guy that's
so
like,
you bitch about it when it's expensive, then you bitch about it when it's cheap.
well,
Will
I
you
don't know
make
what
up?
it. I
Will
don't
you
know
make
what
up
it
your
is.
freaking mind, dude?
If it's a like $40 makes you think like it should be a one and done game, or maybe it's a multiplayer game. So I don't know. I don't know. I made up a whole different kind of story in my head for this one.
Right.
But if it's like a multiplayer game, that's pretty dope. Like with
Well,
robots and shit you build.
only time will tell, sir. Only
Huh.
time will tell. Do you guys have any of your thoughts? Let us know for next week because we're going to come right back to this. Send us a voicemail 646-801-2149. Now remember that you can text using that number as well, and we'll respond next week. Guys, I want you guys to remember and don't forget. Remember and don't forget. That's a good one. Horseplay Live is everywhere you can listen to and download awesome podcasts,
I just caught that.
including allgames.com, Google Play, Music, iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Please take out a few minutes out. Favorite, 2 thumbs up. Favorite, subscribe, and share. Even better, we love some comments, reviews, guys. Leave them. Really helps us out. Thanks for all those that are leaving those comments and reviews. We really appreciate it a lot. We also have a YouTube page, YouTube at Geeky Antics, or youtube.com/Geeky Antics. And of course, you can see the Twitch replay here when it doesn't fuck up on us like it did tonight. Twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. Here on Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.radio Network. We have tons of shows that we cover with a wide spectrum of topics. We can't possibly plug them all. So go find your favorite show yourself. geekyantics.net/schedule. You can also check out our Twitch profile and aggregate feed over at geekyantics.net/podcast. Now, guys, don't forget that the intro and outro music is brought to you royalty free, no matter the speed, by technoax.com. That's Techno with a K. Go check him out, technoax.com. He's got stuff going up almost every single day. Special thanks again to our friends, supporters, favorite streamers, podcasters, including, but not limited to, everyone. Thank you very much for everybody hooking us up, giving us some shout-outs whenever we need them. We really appreciate you guys. Yogi, where can they find you at?
I'm Yogizilla everywhere. Xbox Live, Twitter, Steam, Battle.net, Yogizilla 1722. I believe that's it. I forget.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm easy to find. You also find me on the Geeky Antics Facebook page, geekyantics.net, and all that good stuff.
Yep, you guys can find me, of course, Obi1X2 everywhere. My Battle.net is Obi1X2 hashtag 1894. Yogi's is Yogizilla at hashtag 1722. Of course, Twitter at TSE Obi-Wan. And then, yeah, you guys, I'll be around. If you can't find me right away, it means I don't want to be fucked with. But that's it from us, guys. If you guys listen to us on allgames.com, the Dead Pixel Live Power Ranking Show is up, followed by Knuckleball Radio at 9 p.m. Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to hang out by clicking the live or chat button and just say hi. The worst they can say is fuck off, really. Our friends at the B Team Podcast, remember, is Tuesday at 9 p.m. on our unofficial sister network, All Games Radio Network. But for right now, guys, I'm Obi-Wan X2. That over there is Yogizilla. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. Jesus.
Later, potato.
Hit a damn music.
Man. No, I don't play.
Grub.
Peace.
That's some of the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. But guys, thank you very much. We love you very much. Don't forget, we're going to be playing more Halo Wars tomorrow. If we get 4 people in there, we can play a game all together. Again, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for listening. We love you. Peace out.